Okay, I'm with a couple here on December 3rd, 2011. We just marched through the streets of San Francisco, the financial district, visiting several banks and chastising them for their foreclosing eviction activities. And this couple has an experience that they would like to share with you. Yes, you want to go first?
Basically, we were forced out of our home. I'm a full-time student.
Where are you going to school?
Citi College, San Francisco. I'm doing really good. Taking psychology, a few other classes. Anyway, this company just ended up evicting us, and it was basically off of some biased information. I went there, talked to a manager because I'm legally disabled, and what had ended up happening was that we had got into an argument, and the guy had turned around and basically like 3 days later, next day later, he gives us an eviction notice. And it's like real suspect because a couple of weeks prior, my fiance had just like, she had called.
Basically, we had gotten bed bugs, which we had gotten them from our neighbors across the hall from us. And we were never informed that they had bed bugs. And when we, basically I decided to assert my rights as a tenant, and I called the health department on Urban Pioneers. And so essentially 21 days after I called the health department, I got a 3-day notice on my door. And one of the things that we tried to do was get our bed removed because he is disabled, and that's when they denied our rights. That's when they denied him as a disabled tenant, and that's when he went down there and tried to assert his rights with Urban Pioneers. And that's after that discussion that he had with the management, he threatened to picket, and that's when they decided that they no longer wanted us as tenants, and they decided to start the eviction process.
Okay. Let me hold that. I want you to continue, but let's take a look at this. This is a sign that was carried in this march today, led by, well, one of the organizers was Ted Gullickson of the San Francisco Tenants Union. Let me zero in on these pamphlets that we found, or these little signs that we found in this tree here, which are pertinent to this. If you look here, what does this say? It's, yeah, can you read that?
It says the name can change, but the shame won't. And basically, Citi Apartments, who basically took everyone's deposit in San Francisco and then declared bankruptcy because they played with their money in the stock market. They didn't have enough to refund people's deposits, and so when people came back and were like, oh, we need our deposit, Citi Apartments is like, oh, sorry, we don't have it, we're going to declare bankruptcy because we don't have any money now because we lost it all in the stock market and we lost your security deposit. So basically what Citi Apartments did is they sold all of their buildings in San Francisco. They owned 104, I believe, or 132, something of that nature. They own the most buildings in San Francisco out of any landlord. Lumbee family.
Yeah, Lumbee. His the guy that died a few years back, he claimed bankruptcy.
Frank Lumbee is the owner of Citi Apartments.
Right. Did you say Frank Lumbee?
Frank Lumbee. And basically, when he declared bankruptcy and the Citi Apartments declared bankruptcy, what they did is they sold their buildings to other subsidiaries of Citi Apartments. And one of those subsidiaries is Urban Pioneers. And Urban Pioneers is owned and operated by Taylor Lumbee, who is Frank Lumbee's grandson.
You see it, the UP down there, that's Urban Pioneers.
Urban Pioneers. So
the notorious Citi Apartments has become Urban Pioneers.
And so basically, what I think it is they can get more money for my apartment because the one right below mine was renting for $300 more than mine, and I was only living there for like within a year.
So within a year, rent control? Do you have rent control?
Yeah.
We do have rent control, but the thing is, when someone moves out of a building, that's the one time that the landlord can raise the rent without having to discuss it with the rent board.
True.
So as soon as I move, as soon as they can
say that again.
I said, do the math. If you can get $300 more for a floor underneath, and somebody kind of annoys you, say for instance myself, I've been living there for over a year, and it was actually sold from Larimar
which is Urban also a DBA of Citi Apartments.
Exactly.
What's a DBA?
Doing business as. So it's just a subsidiary of Citi Apartments. It went from Citi Apartments to First Apartments to Ritz-Carlton Family Apartments to Larimar and then to Urban Pioneers. So it's just this big little, like, it's a branch. It's a big tree. It's a big lumpy tree. And, you know, and they just continue. That's what the protest is about, because the banks bailed out Citi Apartments, but they didn't bail out, you know, anybody else, like myself, when I needed help because I was getting evicted by Urban Pioneers. So,
okay, so let me ask you, you're not living there now, is that correct?
I had to leave. There was no anything else. There was no agreement that where I could stay.
So what are you doing now?
I moved. You know, I just moved out to the beach now. Like, I'm through with landlords. I'm through
So
everything.
you are unhoused right now?
No, actually, we just moved in somewhere. We had 30 days. They gave us 30 days to move out.
Okay.
So they gave us 30 days, and then they're like, all right, get out.
So your house is on, or your place you're renting is on the beach?
Yeah. Now we moved. So
I didn't know. I wanted to make sure about whether you were on the beach or in dwelling on the beach.
No, we're in a dwelling on the beach.
Okay. What do you mind saying what your disability is?
I just had a major knee operation. I had a torn ACL.
A torn meniscal?
No, ACL. Anterior cruciate ligament. Basically, there's a screw in here now, and it runs all the way through my knee. They went in through up here too. They're right there.
Right, I can see
And so all this has been operated on about 4 months ago.
So.
And the whole entire process with these people started.
Say hi. I don't want to interrupt.
It's okay. Sarah Short saying hi.
It started probably about 2 months ago, so it was like fairly right after my surgery, and I'm like, hey, I need this moved, and he said, oh, you're not on the lease, but we had previously put in for it almost a year to the day.
We had an application and everything.
Exactly. It was
all the attorneys that I talked to, they said that we definitely had a unfair eviction.
Yeah.
And that we would have win, but you know, I didn't have enough money to retain an attorney. And then even if I did, I would still have to pay all the back rent. So I would it basically just worked out to where it was best. I mean, once an eviction started against you, the bitch about it is if it goes through, if it goes to court and you actually settle or whatever, if you
win, you're still screwed. Even if you win, you're still screwed because you're going to be either labeled a troublemaker, it goes against your credit.
Even if you win,
totally bad. Even if you win,
it still goes on your credit report and it still shows you as being a troubled tenant. So, I mean, there's really no way to win once that UD is filed against you. You're.
And that's what we were threatened with, was basically this UD goes through, it's going to blemish your untarnished record, so you better comply with what we're saying, and it's really wrong. I really wish something would be done about it.
Well, let me suggest something to you. The woman who wanted to say hi, Sarah Short, she's the head of the Housing Rights Committee. It is a great organization. You can get help there at any time. And she helped me with a threatened eviction. They're a terrific organization. You can call them. They have a great hotline. Housing Rights Committee.
You should say, what's the number?
I don't have it memorized, but it's definitely online.
Okay.
So I want to thank you for telling your story today. And it's okay if this goes on YouTube. With the name Lumbee highlighted. I'm saying that. And the name Citi Apartments, which is pretty notorious. And Urban, what was that? Urban Pioneer.
Yeah.
In the tree up here, we are targeting Urban Pioneer today. Thank you both. Thank you very much. And thank you very much.